The border battle, President-elect Donald Trump telling us more about his immigration plans. Did you see that 60 Minutes interview or pieces of it over the weekend? Trump said that he would be open to a fence instead of a wall along some parts of the border. And he wants to deport 2 to 3 million undocumented immigrants with criminal records.
Yes. So what would it take to put his plans in place, and what will need to be done? You know, boots on the ground. How do you make this happen?
Right. So joining us this morning, Pinal County Sheriff Paul Babeu, and you have dealt hands-on with illegal immigration for years and years. You're saying down in the Yuma Border Patrol sector and now in Pinal County. So when Donald Trump says, thank you for being here, first of all.
Absolutely.
Nice when Donald Trump says we want to deport 2 to 3 million illegal immigrants who have committed crimes, how physically is that going to be done in your view?
Well, it's going to happen. We have, everybody's talking about a deportation force. We have federal law enforcement. We have our heroes in the Border Patrol and ICE. What's different about this is, and it's music to my ears, is finally we have a president who's going to enforce the law. These are current existing laws, and it brings us back to Senate Bill 1070, where there used to be a partnership with local, county, state law enforcement that we had with ICE, 287G. This is where we had full authority for immigration. And once we were trained, we worked in partnership with our brothers and sisters in ICE to complement them doing their job.
So give me a for instance, if you could, Sheriff. So let's say that somebody commits a robbery, you arrest them, you find out they're an illegal immigrant. What happens then?
Well, not only they have to face their crime here in the United States, and then we put a hold on them. This is the whole battle of all these sanctuary cities, 275 plus cities that don't put a hold on them, and they just release them after they get out of jail.
Back into...
That's unlawful. And now we have a federal government that says, wait a minute. You will turn them over, local county jurisdictions, once they're finished with serving their sentence.
So they
they
serve the 2 years or whatever, and then they're out.
But what President-elect Trump is talking about is all these illegals. Remember, just a year ago, every sheriff in Arizona came together. This isn't a Democrat-Republican issue. They've released, under Obama, the mass prison break that has happened, tens of thousands of criminal convicted illegals. These are the same ones that have killed people like Grant Ronenbach, Brandon Mendoza, all of these individuals who just don't have one crime. They're not here just being illegal and they're working here or want a better life. These are the ones who've committed, on average, 3 to 5 additional crimes. And surprise, surprise, somebody who's been arrested, convicted of a crime, that's not the first time that they've done it.
So the change would be,
to catch them.
As soon as they serve their time, they would be put on a plane or a bus and sent out of the country. That's the difference.
That's for future criminals. What we're talking about is criminals that, under Obama, they've just released into our communities.
So go find them?
Yes.
Who goes to find them? You?
All law enforcement. We're the guardians, the protectors of our community. We know our communities the best. We're identifying those. They released a criminal from Russia into my county who murdered somebody here in Arizona, kidnapped somebody, murdered somebody brutally. They released them. This is how insane this country has been.
But do you have the manpower to go out and arrest, say what? Say there's 10,000.
Well, when we run into them right now, they're here with de facto amnesty, because Obama has released them into our community saying, oh, God, they won't accept them back in their countries. President Trump is saying not only he's going to apprehend them, they are going back to their countries, because what we hold over them through the Department of State is now all these foreign leaders say they're from Mexico or Central America or Russia or Sudan or Iraq. All these countries that, it's not just Mexico. Right. You will take your criminals back. They're not our citizens, or we're going to hold all your visas for all your diplomats. Guess what happens? They're all going to accept them.
Okay. Before, I know we have to wrap, but really quick, let's talk about the wall or the fence.
Yes.
Do you think it'll
Well,
happen?
I was a combat engineer. It was my branch qualification in the Army. I actually helped build 15, 16 years ago out in California, south of San Diego, north of Tijuana. A wall or a fence works. We have a president who's made this as a key promise of his campaign. 700 miles, not 2,000 miles of a Great Wall of Mexico, but you put this wall and or fence in areas where there's high traffic areas, where there's built up urban centers south or north of the border, to stop any immediate interdiction any immediate incursion into the United States.
San Diego has one now, the San Ysidro report. I mean, it's very effective.
Absolutely.
How do you go about, especially with recently yesterday, the Tohono O'odham tribe saying they wouldn't allow it on their land? Do you work with them? Do you get back to?
This is where I'd keep the focus back. If we back up, everybody's talking, including the president, about a wall. This is a new day. And what I mean by that is we have a president who's going to back us in law enforcement, back our heroes in the Border Patrol. There's now the enforcement of the law. Far more important than a wall, any barrier, any technology we'd use would be the actual consequence, enforcement of the law. My deputies have arrested for years. I've come on your show and with Rick when he was here, talking about illegals who we've chased, who've been smuggling drugs, who've been deported 12 times, 16 times, 21 times. And the reason why they keep coming back is there's no consequence. Why on earth wouldn't they come back? So now we have a president that says, if you've broken the law once, guess what? You're going to prison. You're not just being brought back over the border and say, hey, try again tomorrow. That's what we've been living under President Obama. That's done. That's over. So this is a great day for America, and I'm excited for the future because now law and order is restored. American families, our safety, our country's national security is prioritized. I love it.
Sheriff Babeu, thank you so much for coming to see us this morning.
Great to see you.
And good luck
Thank you.
with all these programs going forward.
Thank you.